There's one thing about this car that really surprised me, something that none of its rivals can really match. Stick around to the end because that's when I'll reveal it. Small cars don't always get the spotlight, but every now and then one comes along that makes you look twice. The KIA Picanto is one of South Africa's most popular city cars, and the X-Line trim promises more features, more style, and fuel that is around 5 liters per 100 kilometers. So the big question is, does the sporty Picanto deserve a spot on the yes list, or does its rivals like the Suzuki Espresso or the Toyota Vitz still have an edge? With the price. You can pick up the 2021 KIA Picanto X-Line for around 200 to 220,000 Rand. I picked this specific one up from WeBuyCars for 214,000, but it all depends on the mileage and the condition. Compared to its rivals like the Suzuki Espresso, which is around 150 to 160,000, it's a lot cheaper. You can also look at the Toyota Vitz, which is in the 170,000 range. But even the Renault Kwid undercuts it. So no, the Picanto isn't the cheapest option in our lineup of fuel-efficient cars, but it promises more. More comfort, more style, more tech, and that's what you need to keep in mind. The size and the design is where the Picanto shows off. Now it's 3.6 meters long, which makes it perfect for city life. It is easy to park, simple to maneuver, and stress-free in traffic. But what makes it really stand out is the X-Line trim. It means chunkier bumpers, cladding, but it has this sportier edge compared to the boxy and quirky Espresso and the clean and plain Toyota Vitz. And compared to those two, this really is the stylish one. We can talk about the features as much as we like, but I know that's not why you're here. You want to know, is this car the most fuel-efficient option? Now, the KIA Picanto promises 5 liters per 100 kilometers. Compare that to the other cars we reviewed, like the Suzuki Espresso or the Toyota Vitz. That's closer to 4.4 to 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers. That means this is a heavier drinker. But 5 liters is still very low. We need to also compare it to rivals closer to its price range, like the Hyundai i10 or the Kwid or even the Swift, which is all around 5 liters or just above it or just under it. So it means it isn't the lightest drinker, but it really is in the mix. The performance of the car explains why you pay more for it. So the KIA Picanto has a lot more power than the other cars that we reviewed. So this car has 61 kilowatts and 122 Newton meters of torque. Compare that to the Espresso, which has 50 kilowatts and 90 Newton meters, and the Vitz that has 49 kilowatts and 89 Newton meters. So you can see that there is a big jump in power. This car feels a lot more punchy in the city, and on the highway, you don't have to give a week's notice when you want to overtake. The manual gearbox makes driving feel a lot more engaging, and the extra power gives this car a lot more personality than its rivals. Inside, the X-Line trim really feels like money well spent. You get a touchscreen infotainment system with all the goodies like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, you get USB, and the sporty trim has this leather-stitched steering wheel which really lifts up the whole cabin. Compared to the boxy Espresso and the very simple Vitz, this really feels like a step up. Yes, the plastics are still hard, but it feels like really solid build quality. It's no secret that this is a small car, but when it comes to boot space, you need to compare it to the other small cars that we reviewed. It has 255 liters of boot space. Now compare that to the Vitz and the Espresso. The Vitz has 295 liters, which is way bigger than this. But one cool feature that this boot has, it has a secret compartment. So you can add all your valuables and you can close this up, leave the car, and you know it is safe and hidden away. But here's the challenge. All those extras come at a cost. The Espresso and the Vitz are cheaper and saves you money at the pump. So if your number one priority is saving money, those are hard to beat. The Picanto asks you to stretch your budget, and in return, you get more features, more comfort, and a car that feels more grown up. The trade-off is clear. Do you want to save the money or have a more complete package? So here's where the comparison lines up. The Suzuki Espresso is the cheapest one. It has this quirky look and it has low running costs. The Toyota Vitz is the balanced one. It is practical, efficient, and has Toyota's resale reputation. And finally, the Kia Picanto X-Line, it's the premium fuel option. It has style, it has comfort, and it has features that the other options just don't offer. So what's the key moment here? It's realizing that the Kia Picanto isn't just another budget hatch. Yes, it's still light on fuel, it's still practical for everyday life, and it's still easy to park. But it has personality, it is fun to drive, and it's actually stylish to look at. And it doesn't feel like you have to compromise everything just to save money, and that's really rare in this segment. So here's the verdict. If you want the absolute cheapest motoring, then the Espresso is your answer. If you want balance and Toyota's peace of mind, then the Vitz is solid. But if you want something that feels a little bit of a step above, something with more power, more features, and just more style, then the Kia Picanto is the one for you. So no, this car isn't the most fuel efficient. It isn't even the cheapest, but it has personality and it is super fun to drive. And that is why I added it to the yes list. Next week, we're ending off this series with another fuel-efficient car, and I want you to comment what car we should do next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week on the Yes List.